What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. Welcome to the channel. Uh, I had some technical difficulties, so I had to cut the stream and restart all over again. But this move was so interesting from Bitcoin. It was somewhat unexpected, but nevertheless, we can deal with it. We can trade it either way, up or down. The interesting thing is that we had like 4 weeks in a row that were green. And that was a crazy move. I haven't done a video in a while or a stream. That's a 42% in these 4 weeks, not 4 days. 40% in 4 days. That's a crazy move. That's a hell of a trade for whoever took it. Now I can look at this and say, oh, Bitcoin, I missed the run. You will never miss the run. You don't know when the move is going to happen, and you don't know when the run-up is going to happen. So you can never be like you missed the trade. There's always another trade. That's my philosophy. There's always the next one. Now, how do you get the next one? And what should you be looking at to be able to get the next one? So what I'm looking at, I didn't trade it down here. I'm not longing up here. We could still pump to levels of 40K, 41K. It's very possible. And what I would like to see in Bitcoin before I decide to long or short, because basically now at the moment, maybe today, in the next few hours, it will change, but we are in no man's land. We are stuck somewhere in the middle. And you need to be in a highly probable position where you could trade. I tried shorting. It was a scalp short. It didn't work out very well, but it wasn't a great loss. But there we go. Now what I'm looking at is this move up here could be, I had this position before, this view before. I haven't looked at it for a while, but I was saying that we could go up here, but that was maybe when we're here, when this was sort of unrealistic. But we need to take a look at that now. Now, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin is a few things. At the moment, we are going to the one-to-one extension. We have some possibilities. If this is going to carry up high, and I'm going to tell you what to look at, what to look for to say, yeah, we are going higher or we're not, and you'll be able to decide if it is going higher or not on your own. Now, okay, I'll just leave that out. I'll just take a note instead, a price note of that, and another price note of this. Now we have those two levels to look at. Are we going to get there? The only way that this turns around and becomes bullish if we start gaining and getting above the 0.786 retracement. You could see on the weekly we did get up there. That was yesterday. We went up to 38.5. But we weren't able to sustain it, and we got rejected over there. You could see, if you look left, this level was high resistance even on the weekly. You can see the weekly resistance at 37,679, and you could see that 38.5 was just a wick on the weekly. Why could we go up there? What am I looking at? We could be doing something like this. I move up in a 1, I move down 2, and this could be a 3 or an ABC, and it could come up to the 1-to-1 or 1.618. My view is that Bitcoin will be going lower, but you need to deal with what the chart is showing you at the moment. In my opinion, this rally can go higher, but in my opinion, it's just a bear rally. But that doesn't mean you can't trade it or even make a hell lot of money on it. So you don't have to be a perma bull, perma bear. I had an initial count on one of my charts. I believe it was this chart. This is a very old count, and I'm going to show you what I was looking at initially. I was saying that this moved down. You could see here in white we had a 1, a 1, 2. Let me get rid of these fib time. Okay, it's like curtains. Okay, you could say we had I was thinking of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but now we had this move up that is much bigger than 2 and is getting into the 2 range, and it's exceeding the low of the one wave, and you don't want that. Why? Because when you get that, that's telling you this could be something else. It's no longer 1 2 3 4. The count has to change. Are we changing? Are we going up? Or is just a further ABC going down? So this A had 5 waves in it, and we could be continuing lower. And if we're doing that, then we could have much lower to go. But if it's turning around here, then this could be it. I'm not very sure that this is it, so let's get into it. This could be an A. We're coming back in a B and going down in a C. And the B wave likes the 0.5 fib or even the 0.618 retracement. So if you take it from the high and bring it to the low, let me just put this aside, the ABC. ABC, take you aside. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at, a possibility. At the moment you're at the 0.382, your 0.5 fib is all the way here, 42,360. But once you get there, it will show you it's that we are reversing. We'll be exceeding the 0.786 on the other charts. So 0.5, 42,360, 48,670 is a 0.618 golden pocket. 57,655 is a 0.786. I'm not saying we're going there, but it's just something you should be aware of. Now over here, I was showing you that it is a possibility that we are going higher. On this chart, 51K and 40,979. I would think that we could get there, but things have to play out. For starters, now let's go to smaller time frames and get rid of these drawings. When you go to smaller time frames and look at it, let's get rid of that. When you go to smaller time frames and look at it, you can see that I'll take you down to the daily. We go to the daily time frame and put on my EMEs, and it's looking quite bullish. This wasn't a bullish wick. Today's Friday. We might come and recover this and range around the weekend and come somewhere like this in this range, and then comes Monday, we get our retracement. The retracement could bring us up all the way down, sorry. This is a daily, that's a big retracement. Your level of support to watch, strong support now, critical support is this level, 36K. You need to hold that. That is your support at the moment. And if you can't hold it, then you will be in trouble. 36K is what I'm looking at as support if we're coming down, because you can see significant support over here. This was your breakout range, 36K. You need to hold it. If you start breaking down 36K, then I go down to the hourly. And I want to make sure that Bitcoin doesn't break the 50 EMA on the 1 hour, which is very close. It's around 36.5. So 36.5 is the first level, then comes 36K. On the other hand, we have some divergences to be aware of. This is showing me that as Bitcoin's moving up, money's coming out. If you look at it, Bitcoin has been moving up on the daily. You can see that. Clearly, these days we were forming higher highs, and if we go to the line chart and you look at the blue line, we're forming higher highs, while on the MFI, money flow index, we're forming lower highs. That is bearish divergence on the daily. And if you go to the RSI, you could see that the RSI is telling a similar story. Look at that. Lower highs, higher highs, higher highs. You could even say lower high. And the RSI, frankly, is was in the overbought region and is still in the overbought region. It needs to come down to the free and hold the 50 RSI. And when Bitcoin does that and price comes down and you're holding the 50, okay, the 50 RSI, you want Bitcoin not to come this low. Bitcoin shouldn't break these low. This is very low. Bitcoin can still be bullish if it comes down to 36K. This is the hourly, this is the daily. Your 50 MA is at around 31,600. My trade idea, Bitcoin, I'll show you what I'm looking at and why I'm looking at that precisely. So if I go to another indicator and take that where I can see the naked point of control on the 4 hour, and I switch up that and you can see that our point of control at the moment, at point of control that is close by and we haven't tapped, is over here. It's taking long to load. Okay, we have a naked point of control here. You can't see it because I already put a red line, but let me take that aside. That hasn't been tapped. That's a level that hasn't been tapped. That means Bitcoin, if it comes here, you're going to get a reaction. Two probable reaction. Either it's a flush out where we'll rip up, or it's going to be a rejection. If Bitcoin is going to be able to flush out and hit a lot of stops and liquidity gets released, then we'll be flushing up higher. Now, where's my naked point of control? Is right over here. This naked point of control is at 39,555. Yeah, around 39,555 is a level I'm watching for. If Bitcoin comes here and it doesn't flush out, there's a high likelihood that we're gonna get rejected and we're gonna head down. Naked point of control is over here. Next level would be that 42,110, another naked point of control. And to the downside, your immediate naked point of control is at around 34,842. So you lose 36K, you might be coming down to 34,842. I mean, these levels are insane. If we get up there, then people are going to get overly bullish about them, and we're going to see some interesting price action over here from BTC. If we get up here and say we see it coming to this point of control, then I'll be looking at an entry over here. Stop loss probably above the level, 1% stop loss, but I'll be looking at for a flush down, possibly down to 36K as a first level, and that's about 10%. You'll be getting around 4,000 points over here, $4,000 move. It will be very interesting if that happens. Now, we had some interesting moves from other coins. We're going to take a look at them. So for BTC, that's what I'm looking at, and I'll just close that, leave. Let me see. Maybe this will refresh my chart and show all the crazy drawings I have here. Lines, trend lines, fixed range volume profile. You come here and see. We broke out of our value area high and we formed another range. Crazy thing is that we are at levels that we were at a year ago, 4th of May 2022, more than a year ago, like almost 2 years ago. So yeah, I would like to see what Bitcoin can do. $2,000 on Ethereum, that was crazy, unexpected. We were down here at around the 1600 range, and we are getting some sort of a bearish reaction over here. Not a very strong bearish reaction, but some sort of a bearish reaction. But you must see this candle. You will recover this candle. This is crazy. You'll be coming down at least 2,000. At the moment, you're at 2,095, 2,100. So if I was here yesterday, if I was watching this and I wanted to trade this would be a good trade to go on for Bitcoin. It's where we sold off the last point. Last time we sold off was at around here, 2,147. We're really close to that. It's very possible that that might be it. I mean, it's a horizontal range, previous support, turned resistance, and you could trade it to the downside. We had a lot of liquidations, a lot of short liquidations. If I take this and erase everything, what am I looking at? We're forming some sort of ascending wedge. Look at that. We could take it that way and adjust our lines a bit, and then you do that and you say that. Some sort of a wedge, and this is one of the most bearish patterns you can see. You can say it's a big bear flag. I doubt it's going to be that big, but it is a big bear flag. 3,579 down to 889. That will bring Ethereum to 0, and that's crazy. I don't think so, but we have a bearish pattern. We had first touch over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, get a fifth touch over here that could bring you up all the way up to 2,255, only to come down all the way to 1640 again. So just be aware, this is tradable. This is it's a tradable range, but you don't long the highs. Don't long the highs. You could, I'm not telling you what to do, but you could be a breakout trader if you want. I'm not that kind of trader. I'm not a scalper. I try to scalp, but I prefer swing trades. I prefer taking higher probable trades. So we had one touch over here, second touch over here, third touch up over here, and this could be coming down to the mid of the range. You could trade it at least to 1817, 1820 as a first take profit. Not financial advice, because this still might rip up. Something's happening in the markets. We might still rip to the upside. Solana, on the other hand, did a crazy number on us. We came all the way up 252 levels. I haven't looked at for a long time. I wasn't expecting Solana to get there, but if we take fib extension down from these lows of $7-8 to up here and say, where are we hitting? Solana is at 1.272 and exceeding, and then Solana can come up to $60 as per this fib extension that I'm looking at. $60 is possible if you say you don't want to be too greedy and you're going to start from this low. As this move up was the first wave, you forget about this. This was maybe a 1-2, and you're starting a 1-2 to the downside here. Then Solana is at the 1.618, and if we close below the 51.2, then we could be coming down for a deeper retracement. Yeah, so this was a falling wedge or falling channel that broke to the upside. Very bullish, very crazy move to the upside. And let's compare the volume. If we have some volume over here and see what is the volume looking like on this move up. This isn't good. When we're moving up, volume is going down. That's not what you like to see. You like to see volume exploding to the upside. We had a spike, okay, but you can see volume on the way up. 4 hourly, maybe a different story. Same thing. Move up. We had an increase of volume, but more of bearish volume than bullish. We had a bit of bullish volume over here. So I'm not expecting much from Solana. We could have a retrace, but that level of $60, let's go back. Where was that? There. 59.182 is possible, but will be faced with a lot of resistance. We are at a level of resistance. Look at that. Even if you take the fixed range volume profile over here and you look at this level, what did Solana do here in May 2022? You could see we're above the POC. I would say we could come to the value area high. 55.6 is possible. You can imagine that you are in that range. 55.6. Let me take a fixed range volume profile for this move, and to get a bit of insight where we are. Obviously, is Solana's out of the range, even if you bring it back. I mean, we're at levels we were at in around May 2022. That's crazy. Market is very bullish, and when the market is bullish, you don't be bullish. Nasdaq broke out of the channel. 2 days, 1, 2, good support from this range on Nasdaq at the value area high. Wow, looks like it's respecting the value area high for Nasdaq. And if these markets start pulling down next week, start pulling down back to the POC for Nasdaq, that would pull Bitcoin and Ethereum and the rest. But look at that, we're literally at the value area high. A breakout of this will be crazy. This channel has been broken. We had a 1 touch, 2, this was another touch, but we had a 3, 4. I don't know how could we adjust this, but yeah, crazy things are happening in the market. You should just be cautious with what's going on. Don't get overly bullish at the highs. But if you want to be not unbiased, then you could say, wow, Nasdaq is in a big bear flag. To me, this doesn't look bullish. I could draw a broadening wedge. So it's also not bullish on that aspect. Ethereum, Solana. So all in all, what I'm saying is, for Bitcoin, let me go to my fib channels, which have been respected many times and give you good trades. Like you came here all up to 29.9, and then it brought you down all the way down to 28.5, or even $28,000. So it was $1,000 move. So if we come up for Bitcoin, if it happens today and we pump all the way up to 39.4, that brings it to that level I was talking about, the NPOC at 39.555. And that could be a level where you could get a wick and a pull down. So I'll be watching 39.555 and those other levels I mentioned. I'm not getting too excited with the pump. I'm not FOMOing in. I'm not afraid of missing out, because I know I've seen it play so many times. You guys have seen it so many times that you think this is it. This is a dump, or this is a pump. And this looked like we're going down below these lows, and look what happened. This looked like we're going to 60K. Look what happened. You just have to be aware of what's happening. Look at that. This pump was supposedly the beginning of the bull run when we pumped this much. And look where we came. We made a new low. So just be careful, guys. This can go higher. If you want to trade this breakout and wait for it to break this previous high and say, I'm going to trade it, you're going to be the liquidity. Trust me. You're going to get whipsawed around. I mean, even in all the bull markets, you'll get exciting pumps. You will get some retraces. You will get some pullbacks that you could say, okay, if we look at the daily over here, you got a pullback. Look at that. This was a pullback. You came all the way up to 42K in 2021, January. You got a pullback all the way down, 29K. So you could get a pullback on the daily all the way to the 55 EMA even, or the 50 EMA. And once you get that, that's when you say, okay, I'm stepping in on a daily time frame. That's a higher probable trade, rather than trading over here where you don't have much of data to tell you where you're headed. So if you go to the Bitstamp chart and look at these EMAs, along with my fib channels on the weekly, we are above all EMAs. So this is where you wait for another retrace. Another retrace of what? Of EMAs or trend line or fixed range volume profile, whatever you're looking at. As per the CME gaps, we don't really have gaps for Bitcoin to the upside. So if you look here, we don't really have gaps. The only gap we have is to the downside. That's at around 20K. And maybe we have a small gap over here. But we have this gap on the daily time frame. Let's go to the daily. We have this gap down here. Doesn't have to be filled now. It could take some time, and maybe it will never fill the gap. But I mean, it's crazy. You could have something is missing in this chart, in this indicator. I don't know why. Oh, because this is a Bitstamp chart. Okay. So let's see if we have any signals. This indicator, if you were just trading this indicator, which I pointed out so many times, when the 513 and 55, 513 and 21 cross the 55, the next candle that opens above the EMAs, then that's your buy signal. So you could have bought over here at this candle. You would get stopped out, or you would hold on to it and hope for a pump, and you could have caught it. So this is on the 4-hourly. So sometimes the signals are highly probable, but when you have a ranging market, it doesn't always work. If you go to the hourly, still no sell signal. See, when you're ranging, you get long, short, long, short. It's a scalper's paradise. I'm not a scalper. I'm a swing trader. I do try to scalp sometimes. I prefer swing trading. I prefer high probable trades. And if I was on the charts at this time, I would have taken the short. I took the short very late. But if you look at it, look at that, 38.5 all the way down to 35.3. That is almost $3,000 move. How would you know you should take the trade? because this is a humongous green candle that came out of nowhere. And let's look at the minute chart. If you're doing this, if you're watching the 1 minute chart, you would have seen this candle and you had 1 minute to decide. You would be here. You see this big candle and it's up here and you're like, I'm taking the trade, even if you entered over here. So let me point out some things. Apart from those levels that I highlighted, I'm going to show you other levels that I'm watching. I have my alerts here. You could point them, you could put them on your charts. I have 38K as an alert when we get here, because it's going to be a level, a rounded number, psychological number. I mean, big institutions don't trade, don't look for 38, 125 or 38, 555. They look at these kind of numbers. So when you get to 38K, I'll be watching it. If this breaks, then I have my next alert at around 39,400, because I'm waiting for 39,555 to see how it reacts. Once we get here, I want to be aware $100 before it gets there. And then down here, I have 35,400. After we break 36K, I'm watching 35,400. Now, let's go to retracement levels and see where can we retrace to from this breakout. I would like to think that if Bitcoin is going to get a pull down, if we take it from here all the way up, as accurate as possible. 0.5 fib is 35,930. That's 36K, so that would be significant. I told you 36K previous level. 0.5 Fibonacci. 0.618, 35,300, right on my alert. Now, if you go, you try to find what other confluences you have at the 0.5 fib. Nothing on the hourly, 4 hourly. Okay, on the 0.618, on the 4 hourly, you have 55 EMA coming in there. Let me just confirm. 813.21. 55 EMA is at this level. So that's going to be a significant level if we get a drop. But this is the 4 hourly. It moves slow and it will change with time. So it depends what are you trading. Higher time frames, lower time frames, and all that. So yeah, I hope you liked the update. If you did, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, join the free Discord. And if you really like it, hit your notifications, and you could support the channel through the link in the channel description. In the Discord, I do post many times when I get into trades, and I do post my ideas of the market or updates when I don't post videos. That's it for now. More trades. I'm out.